We got the Xfinity Series, Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, Cole Custer, and John Hunter Nemechek. I think that, obviously I'm pulling for Junior Motorsports to win the championship. I could, Sam or Justin. Justin's 37 years old. This is his fourth appearance. This is his seventh Championship 4 appearance. His seventh. Wow. All right. Never won a championship. His best finish was second in 2020. 4 wins this year. This is Sam's first Championship 4 appearance. 20 years old, 4 wins this year total. So Sam's younger. Sam will, likely have another opportunity next year, as Justin will. But I hope one of them win it. And with that said, I hope Justin wins one at some point in his career. He deserves it. He's put a lot of work and effort into it, and I think he deserves it. The other 2 drivers, Cole Custer and John Hunter Nemechek, statistically, I know that Austin Hill won the regular season championship, man, but when you look at, the statistics throughout the year, Cole Custer and John Hunter Nemechek's names are right there at the top of a lot of lists. I expected Cole Custer to have a great year, but he won 2 races, and both were at road courses. I was shocked that he didn't win more mile and a halves. But he's had fast cars, so I'm not counting the guy out. I feel like that even he might say that they fell short of some expectations this year. John Hunter Nemechek is moving on to the Cup Series next year, driving the 42 car for Legacy Motor Club. He's got 7 wins this year. I expected him to come into this season and dominate. And when we unload cars in Phoenix and start practicing, I will be looking closely at the lap times of that 20 car to see how we match up.
That's right.
So I think the 20 car may have an edge on overall just pure speed. Cole Custer, if we get those late restarts, late yellows, Cole Custer is a restarting machine, but also is Justin Allgaier. Those 2 guys would be really sitting at an advantage if they're able to restart late in the race on the front row or even in the second row. Cole and Justin are really great at attacking on restarts. Sam can go in there and win it. I told him that. I said, don't feel like you're the underdog, even though, looking at statistics and age and experience, I tell him to focus on the success he's had in the playoffs and feel like that he goes in there as one of the favorites to win it. I feel I would not be shocked if Sam wins it. You got any input?
No. I think you framed it up nicely. I'm pulling for Justin Allgaier. I don't mind saying it. You can't say it, but I'll say it. Yeah. I think it's he's due, and I want it for him in a bad way. Although Sam Mayer, I agree with you. Did you just make that again? Did you really?
Yep.
This podcast on Thursday has turned into just throwing paper wads into a basket and seeing if we can make it. I'm kind of wanting to go.
He couldn't even see it either.
Oh,
I couldn't even.
All right, Andrew. You know what?
So
smart ass, this guy.
One of the things that I think is an interesting narrative around the Xfinity Series is how will teammates race in this final event, right? That is coming off, I say that because we're coming off of Martinsville, where a lot of things happened, good and bad, around teammates, right? The choices they made. With all of that conversation in the industry, you have to imagine that there may have been a bit more focus in the competition meetings amongst all the teams about what is expected. Like, what is your role, okay? Look, you're a teammate. This is what we'd like you to do. This is what we would expect of you in moments like this. And so maybe it's a non-factor. Maybe it absolutely does not come into play. But be paying a little more attention to that, I think, in the Xfinity Series especially, to how teammates, compete, right? And whether they're able to assist each other and maybe whether they're able to make it more difficult or challenge some of their, some of the enemies and out there in the competition out there. Moving on to the Cup Series, Kyle Larson's going for his second championship, and Christopher Bell's back again for his second Championship 4 appearance, and he finished third last year. And then William Byron in his first Championship 4 appearance at 25 years old, man. Nobody in this the youngest driver in this group is Kyle Larson at 31 years old.
The oldest.
I'm sorry, the oldest driver in this group is Kyle Larson at 31 years old. And then obviously the favorite, the odds-on favorite, the man who just dominated the last couple of rounds of the playoffs, Ryan Blaney, is coming in to bring it home. Sorry.
He can't even say it with a straight face.
This is his first Championship 4 appearance. He's finished 7th in points in 2019 and 2021. He's 29 years old. Really, for a driver, you're kind of coming into your prime. William Byron's a fantastic race car driver. He will only get better as he ages. Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, that 28 to 31-year-old range, you're really starting to reach the peak, or you're nearing the peak of where youth and the risk-taking and urge to be daring crosses with experience. Right? Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of drivers that come in young that have raw ability and are very fast. They lack a little racecraft, which is basically experience. And, that 28 to 31-year-old range, right around 33 even, is this sort of perfect meld of the two. And so these drivers, it's interesting, man. When I first came into the broadcast booth, we were pitching this narrative of the young guard, Chase Elliott, Blaney, against the old guard of Harvick, even Keselowski and other guys. And so the veterans went out and won all the races and said, yeah, your narrative's dumb. Mm-hmm. But now here we are, years later, where, again, we've got a 25, a 29, 28, and a 31-year-old driver all going for the championship. So I like Blaney. Ran second at Phoenix, I think, the last 2 times. Probably could have won last year, but Logano was racing for the championship. We do not know for sure, but I have to wonder, could Blaney have won that race if it had been his title to win, right? He's going in with a lot of momentum. And so Byron has had an incredible year. And, Kyle Larson you can never count out. I counted him out, though. Didn't put him in my Final Four, but here he is. Hey, I'll take the criticism.
Yeah,
bad choice.
You don't mind taking that because you got the Blaney pick.
Hey, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, I got a few right.
Yeah.
Your championship pick ain't even in here. He ain't even in the room.
He has a good podcast.
Yeah. And Christopher Bell's back, man. Are we all overlooking Christopher Bell?
Yeah, I overlook Christopher Bell all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. I forget he's out there.
Is he gonna be a threat?
I think so.
All right, all right.
I don't know.
That's my analysis.
I think he's on the second half of the 4 drivers. I feel like
he's actually the underdog of all 4.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah.
But Bell, I feel like, at least for me, exceeded my expectations of him in the playoffs again this year.
He did it last year.
I know,
right?
Yeah.
Had basically a similar season, but then came on in the playoffs, won the right races. Oh, and he finished 3rd last year.
Yeah,
out of the 4.
What's interesting this year is he's the only Gibbs car in it, and I feel like every time
that helps.
There's somebody else he's kind of share the spotlight with or whatever over there, so that might
Okay.
give him some.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. So Gibbs can focus solely on Christopher Bell, and Christopher's teammates can then practice and work to help him. There's an hour, I think, of practice. So, yeah, you want some teammates out there trying things and giving you information and you plugging that into your car and making your car better. I think that works. I think that is more reliable today than it's ever been with the next-gen car. With the old cars, everybody had a little bit of different this, a little bit different that. Yeah, our front ends aren't quite the same. My A-arms are a little different. My mounting points, my jacking, this, that, and other. And so trying something that worked for your teammate wasn't always just 100% reliable. You put it in your car and not go faster and go, well, what the hell? But in the next-gen car, it's like, if they try it and it's faster, it's almost every time 100% plugs into your car and you get the same result. So having teammates out there helping you. Blaney will have teammates. Byron and Larson, they'll have a couple cars. So, I mean, that'll be critical in those laps of practice, what those other teammates that aren't even racing for the championship, how they might influence the overall performance of these 4 drivers.
I got a question. Who do you think of these 4? I mean, actually, let's take both series, Xfinity Series and Cup Series. Who do you think of them as the one driver that would choose to win at all cost, including maybe even racing dirty to win a championship?
Well, I think that Sam's definitely on that list. At 20 years old, you're gonna mature with age. You're gonna make different decisions as you get older. So he's prone would be the best word to use. He's prone to make whatever move he needs to make, right, to win this championship. I wouldn't put it past Justin. Justin's very clean, though.
Very clean.
Yeah, Justin
takes pride in that.
Justin's very clean, so maybe he doesn't. When given the opportunity, the championship right in front of him, maybe he still needs to do it his way.
I think you're right.
Right? Experience the thrill of the racetrack like you're in the driver's seat with DraftKings Sportsbook. Bet on your favorite racers and feel the rush of every pass, pit stop, and victory like never before. Right now, new customers can turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. Bet 5 on anything to score big, no matter what goes down on the track. The Championship 4 is set, and even though a championship will be crowned this weekend at Phoenix Raceway, anyone could win the race. Teams will put it all on the line, so be sure to tune in to Dirty Modo as they handicap the field and recommend bets to watch for the 2023 season finale. With props, parlays, and more, there will be action to follow all race long. The racing action doesn't stop until the checkered flag drops. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and join with code DJD. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. That's code DJD only on DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
John Hunter will move you.
John Hunter will definitely move you.
All right, on the Cup side, yeah. Cole Custer will move you. Cole Custer drove through half the field just in Martinsville just to get where he's at. So I think he definitely will move you.
But at least Cole tells you it's coming.
Well,
I was like, hey, man, hey, I'm going to have to hit you here, okay? All right? Don't be too upset, okay? This is a situation we're both in.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
I like that. I like that. He's not asking for forgiveness later. He's like, hey, man, I told you we were going to do this. Moving on to the Cup Series. Honestly, the funny thing about the Cup Series is much harder to make the distinction of what driver might do something truly dirty to win the championship. I don't know that any of them are willing to do that. I think they'll race hard. They'll make contact. They won't avoid contact, but they're not just going to clean a guy out, or they're not going to knock you totally out of the groove. They'll drive in the corner, door you, use you up a little bit. They'll do something, and they'll get physical, but it won't be enough that you can just get out of the car and go, that was bullshit. How can you live with yourself, right? Yeah. I don't see the Cup guys doing that.
Yeah.
Now, the Xfinity guys, maybe.